So we started on April Fool's. I had decided that I'd gotten kicked out of the last firm that I could work for. I was a really shitty employee. So it was time to open my own firm. We moved the office to the Arts Factory across from Jim and Kathleen in 99. I started a journal at that point. The first recollection I have of the Arts District was the night I moved in, the cops arresting the drug addicts across the street from us. Yeah, it was great. And what we started looking at was, I'm not interested in the strip. I'm interested in the silence of the other side. That kind of space where you find that takes this to what this community is all about, and not what the tourist comes here to see, but really establishing this as a home for myself and my daughter. So these are some of the things we look at. The firm was established really almost as a teaching model. I'm much more interested in kind of bringing people to the community. So this was a symposium we held out in Goldwell about 5 years ago. And these are the kind of things we do outside of the architecture that really start to inform our language and how we work. So I'll show you some of our newer projects. This is a house up in Summerlin, Tres Arca. The skin is actually informed by the desert floor. That crackling that you feel as you walk on the desert, and that fracturing of the floor is where we got this mesh feel for. And the whole thing that we try to work for, and the majority of our work, is this melding of the indoors and outdoors. That we firmly believe that you can live outside when it's 110 degrees, and we try to push that in all of our work to get people outside of the indoor environment to the outdoor environment. So a lot of it deals with trying to bring those materials that we're used to inside and out to meld those together. The idea of the shishugibon is a burnt wood. We actually will participate in the kind of fabrication of that wood to bring that on. We also do a lot of pro bono work. This is a project we're working with the North Las Vegas Fire Department. They're looking to try to teach kids a variety of safety. They called and asked if we would work with them. They didn't tell us what it was. They showed up all in their fancy suits, the big fire truck outside. There was no way to tell them no. And this is the education center that we're now working with, trying to fundraise for them to do this. One of the great things to work on expensive homes is the opposite side. This was an opportunity we had in Henderson to do a senior housing complex where the homes that we do can run up to $1,000 a square foot. The senior housing complex we build at $76 a square foot. And it really had to do those same philosophies of the homes, is trying to meld that indoor and outdoor, trying to give a senior, instead of 500 square feet that they can afford for their apartment, the idea that they can actually expand out into courtyards and use that as a series of gardens and spaces that the seniors then use as common space and extend their living environment. How do you pause? This is a project that we're working on right now, Q Lab, near where our office is, with Quentin from Facilitech. We've really been looking at downtown Las Vegas since '98. We were down here and left for a few years. We've been back now for 3 years. And the idea is really to create space that allows that kind of modular feel. You can come in and take a segment of space, and then as you expand, move into the adjacent spaces. And really wanted to meld everything. There's a lounge, residential, community garden, community space, gallery spaces. We wanted to really kind of create this center that you really didn't have to leave. You could your entire day could be spent in this one space. And then I plan on living up top. This is the project we're just finishing up in Summerlin. It's the House of Light and Water. It's based on the idea of bringing the materials to form this solid mass. From the outside, you get this very rigid, very formal kind of expression, and then in the back, the entire house opens up around the pool that actually interweaves into the community spaces and the public spaces. They just moved into this house 3 weeks ago. We're going to try to shoot it tomorrow. It's still in boxes, so we're going to have to move around that. And then this is a sneak peek of what we're working on right now that hopefully as soon as we can raise $29 million, this will be part of the future arts district. So, what? Like we do. So, in a nutshell, that's us.